what's going on, everybody? My name is Guy. This is Guy Talk Sports. Thank you so much for clicking on the thumbnail. In today's video, I'm going to talk about Tennessee winning its first 2 games in Omaha in the College World Series, currently sitting in a pretty good spot. We'll talk about those games. We're going to talk about who Tennessee's going to play next, as well as look at the rest of the 2 brackets, see how the other teams are faring. Before we dive into that, though, if you don't mind, right below this screen, take a peek. There's a subscribe button. Help me continue to grow this channel. Smash that button for me. Let's get into this. So, on Friday, I actually had to work and travel while the game against Florida State was happening. Little tough for me to admit, but I had a very hard time keeping track of this game because we were not doing well for the majority of it. First 2 innings, absolutely, we were doing great. Then the 3rd inning happened, and things were a little tense, and it took some kind of late game heroics, maybe a little bit of luck, to pull this one out. So Tennessee started off strong. You had the Vols going up 4-1 after 2 innings. Like I said, then the 3rd inning happened. Tennessee had a ton of walks. Tennessee had a ton of errors. Seminoles scored 6 runs in that inning to go up by 3. 4th and 5th innings saw the 2 teams kind of trade blows. The Seminoles were still up 9-6 at that point. In the 6th, Vols inched closer, scoring a run, but then Florida State bounced right back, scored 2 more. So the game was at 11-7. Bottom of the 8th, Vols scored a very big run as it kind of set up what was a heart-pounding 9th inning, right? So the inning started, Vols were down 11-8. Things were not looking good. Kavaris Tears goes up, gets a triple to open up the inning, a triple. Curley then steps in, flies out, but it allows Tears to tag up, score a run. So Vols are now down 11-9, nobody on, 1 out, right? Peebles steps up, gets walked. Cal Stark gets up then, pops one up, foul, gets caught. So you have 1 on, 2 outs now. Runner on first, right? So, and then here comes Christian Moore, who had an amazing night and really a historic night. We'll talk about that here in a second. With 2 strikes, laces one out to the left field corner for a double. So you now have Peebles at 3rd, Moore at 2nd, still 2 outs. In steps Blake Burke. And this is where things get a little crazy, a little dicey. With a 2-2 count, he does this kind of check swing, and third base ump says he didn't go. Now on replay, it's a little iffy, right? It's a very, very close call. I think it really could have went either way. As a Tennessee fan, obviously, I want to say that he didn't swing, but I can absolutely see when Florida State fans say that he went. It's a very, very close call. Tennessee catches the break, though, right? Tennessee catches the break. Burke makes them pay for it dearly. Dearly. Full count, sends one right back up the middle. Both runners scored, and the game's tied. Game's tied 11-all. Amick then steps in, hits a single into left field. You now have runners at 1st and 2nd, 2 outs, and then in steps Dylan Dreiling. He's had a pretty good year, pretty good postseason. 1-0 count, absolutely smokes one into left center field. Gets blown by the 2 outfielders there. Burke scores. That's ball game. And it was really, like I said, some late game heroics. Little bit of luck, depending on how you want to look at it. Like I said, if you look at the replay, it's really close. A lot of people say he went. A lot of people say he didn't. So I don't know. It's a close call. That's sports. It's nice to get kind of the positive end of that, though. Game really had it all. You had tons of drama, ups and downs, controversial moments. Like I said, late game heroics, big time plays. I highly, highly recommend rewatching this game if you didn't get to. If you're a fan of just baseball, this game had everything. Really cool game to watch. And really, the College World Series so far has not disappointed. Before we move on, though, a big-time shout-out to Christian Moore. Kind of alluded to it earlier. He became only the second player to ever hit for a cycle in the history of the College World Series. So he had an amazing game. Super fun one to watch. Like I said, I had a hard time keeping track of it because I thought for sure we were losing. They proved me wrong, though. They proved me wrong. Tennessee wins. Big time game. Let's take a look at the next game, though. So ended up having to play North Carolina on Sunday. It was pretty much the exact opposite of the first game. There's really not too much to talk about. You had Tennessee being very businesslike, no errors, only 4 walks in the whole game, and really just kind of handled the Tar Heels, right? So you had Tennessee goes out, scores a few runs, pitched a great game. North Carolina finally scored a run in the 6th to make it 4-1. Tennessee immediately scored one back, and then another in the 8th to win it 6-1. Drew Beam had a heck of a game, showed a lot of command, and had to get helped out of a sticky situation in the 6th, but ultimately had a really great game. Defensively, Hunter Inslee, rewatched the highlights of this game just for this catch. Full speed, tracking it in center field, runs into the wall, hangs on to the catch somehow. I don't know how he didn't knock himself out. It kind of set the tone for the rest of the game. Now, ultimately, he had to kind of step out of the game. He got removed from the game because of his hip, and I think from that collision. So I think it's kind of up in the air whether he's going to play within, in this next game or two or not. But such a great play. Offensively, I think it's really important to mention Kavares Tears. He's had an amazing College World Series so far. Had a great game in this one. And Tennessee wins 6-1, like I said, and it was kind of the exact opposite of the first game, right? So now let's take a look at the rest of the field, see how the other teams are doing as well. Just kind of a general overview. You have 2 brackets, right? Bracket 1, you had Tennessee, Florida State, Virginia, and North Carolina. Game 1, you had North Carolina defeating Virginia 3-2 with a walk-off win. We already talked about Tennessee beating Florida State 12-11. Florida State then played Virginia and won it 7-3. So Virginia is officially out. Tennessee defeated North Carolina 6-1. We talked about that as well. So now the Vols are going to await the winner of North Carolina and Florida State, which are actually playing as I'm recording this video. So I can't tell you who they're going to play. It's going to be one of the 2 teams, though. So like I said, Tennessee's going to play the winner tomorrow. That's Wednesday, June 19th at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tennessee's first 2 games have been at 7. This is going to be a 2 p.m. game. Tennessee's only going to need 1 win to advance to the final series. The other team would have to beat the Vols twice to advance. In bracket 2, you have Texas A&M, Florida, Kentucky, and NC State. Kentucky defeated NC State 5-4 in extra innings. Like I said, this College World Series has been amazing. There's been so many walk-off wins. Texas A&M defeated Florida 3-2. Florida then played NC State in the losers bracket and won it 5-4. So 2 teams now have officially been eliminated. You had Virginia and NC State. They're out. Texas A&M then defeated Kentucky in the winners bracket. So you have them beating Kentucky 5-1. So now Kentucky and Florida are going to play at 7 p.m. tonight, and then Texas A&M is going to play the winner. The Aggies, like the Vols, only need 1 win to advance to the final series. So right now, just off of percentage chances, the most likely 2 teams to make it are going to be Tennessee and Texas A&M, which really have been 2 of the best teams in the country all year. That being said, this is postseason, this is baseball, anything can happen. Any of the 6 teams still remaining could win this thing. And honestly, so, like I said, the Aggies only have to win 1. The other team would have to win twice to advance. That's really all I got for this one, though. Extremely excited to see who Tennessee's going to play next, kind of keeping track of this Florida State-North Carolina game. Honestly, both are really good teams, and both have a big-time grudge now against the Vols, right? So they'll be wanting to win. Aggies are looking really good, like I was saying. And honestly, Kentucky, they've shown they're a tough out for anybody, so I still watch out for them. Still a lot of good baseball to be played. Honestly, the Vols are just 3 wins away from being national champions, which is crazy to think of. If they won tomorrow and then won their first 2 games in the final series, they're national champions, which is just awesome. Really hoping that happens. But let's not look too far ahead yet. Tennessee's got to win this next one. It's either going to be Florida State or North Carolina. Super excited. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate every single one of you that watched this. If you don't mind, please hit the like button. It really helps this video out. Drop a comment down below. What did you think about the check swing from Berg? Did he go? Did he not go? doesn't really matter, I guess, in the end of it. But what are your opinions on it? What team are you rooting for in the College World Series and why? And then lastly, once again, hit that subscribe button for me. Help me continue to grow this channel. Thank you so much. Looking forward to this next game. Go Vols. We'll see you next time.